Hey all you nerds, Gabe aka Froopy Art here, and welcome back to our Gravity Falls and cryptid-inspired Pokemon region. In the previous episode, you battled a shape-shifting Ultra Beast in an abandoned bunker, and now you're heading back to the Twin Falls Lake Beach.
Professor Pines! You'll never guess what happened.
There was a shapeshifter and it tried to look like all of us.
Yo, what's going on here?
Back on the beach, you can see that everyone here looks quite worried. The officers, Blurlin and Dubs, walk up to you. They have a new Pokemon at their side that isn't exactly intimidating. Yeah, we're gonna give our officers a very strange Pokemon. It'll be a bit more fitting when it evolves, but it also needs to show that they are suckers for cute things. Anyway, we're combining two things. First off, there is the Lammy dance from Gravity Falls. You know that part where Dipper had to dress up as a lamb and do a little song and dance? Yeah, that. And we're combining it with the Shore Laddie. Hailing from Iceland, it's a monster that looks a lot like a sheep, covered in long matted wool, and the wool is covered with mussels and stones from the sea, as you know, they live on the coast. And yes, I know that between Iceland and Greenland is the one that's actually covered in ice, but the sheep is still going to be part ice type. I also just gotta say how nice it is to find a cryptid monster that isn't a bloodthirsty killer. Well, I say that, but I found one source that said that shore laddies eat pregnant women, which, I mean, like, Iceland? I mean, you guys okay over there? But we're gonna treat this as a friendly herbivore. Okay, let's meet Jangalam, the messy wool Pokemon. This adorable ice type loves playing on the beach and splashing in frigid waters. This leads to Jangalam's fur becoming tangled with bits of ice, stones, and seashells. You can often hear this Pokemon coming as the debris loudly bangs together when they walk. They prefer to distract predators with their cuteness, but are always ready to chuck a rock and flee. The ability is Cute Charm, because it is just so adorable, and that means that contact with the Pokemon may cause infatuation, and the hidden ability is Fluffy, which is a little bit ridiculous. It halves physical damage, but makes it twice as susceptible to fire-type moves. It jangles its shells at you as menacingly as it is able to assist the officers as they grill you about your whereabouts.
And where have you kids been?
Up to trouble, I bet.
No, we were just out exploring that island out there.
And do you know the whereabouts of one Mayor Terry?
Mayor Terry, is he okay?
He was last seen playing on the dock, but he's missing now.
Sorry, we didn't see anything.
But we did! Your friends, Frenda and Sandy, come running up the beach towards you.
Yes, we just saw Mayor Terry being led away by 3 people in hoods.
We couldn't see their faces!
It's the Cypher Squad again. I hate those guys.
And Mayor Terry was wearing a metal collar around his neck, which I don't think is what he normally wears.
Yeah, very unflattering.
And they went into the forest over there.
Officer Dubs, we have to follow them.
That's not how police work goes.
We need to finish getting statements from everybody on the beach.
Hey, you over there, what did you see?
No, the cops! I'm innocent, I swear! Blurlin and Dubs run off, chasing Professor Pines around the beach. Cordelia motions that you follow her towards the forest where Terry was last seen.
Come on, ladies. If we wait for those bozos, we'll never catch up to Terry.
Yeah, we are capable young women who can save Terry on our own.
We're feminine, but not to be messed with.
I am ready to bust some kneecaps.
Whoa, Sandy. Yeah.
You and your ladies pass by a cryptic warning sign and start into the woods. The vegetation is extremely dense here, and it is slow going. On your way, you see some familiar Pokemon like Serioku, Mushimind, and Bukuvant, but you also spot a new species. Time to get a spooky line in here. Well, it certainly isn't going to start out very spooky, but this is a 3-stage line based on ghosts. More specifically, this will pull in elements from the Banshee of Irish folklore, but also some elements from various woman in white ghosts present across the world. It is, however, going to be quite small in the first stage. Not to get too morbid, but this wailing ghost baby is shaped like a lost pacifier. And just to round out the baby appeal, I snuck in some drool and snot. It's pretty gross and loud, but also, that's how babies are most of the time anyway. I struggled the most with the colors, briefly wanting to go with a light ghostly green until I realized that it made it look too much like a little alien in a UFO, and that's a line I have planned for later in the region. We landed on this nice ghostly purple, and now let's meet Pasicry, the Tantrum Pokemon. This tiny ghost type is rarely in a good mood. Any sound will set off Pasicry to start screaming. It is almost as if it amplifies other sounds into its own ghostly wail. A good trainer can sometimes calm Pasicry, but they still have to deal with its sticky ectoplasmic boogers and drool. The ability is something new called Wraith Wail, and that means that all sound-based moves become ghost type now. And then the hidden ability is Soundproof. It's a pretty easy catch if you need a ghost type for your team, and who knows, maybe it'll be a little less gross when it evolves. The forest is a pain to navigate, however, but luckily Cordelia is confidently tracking the kidnappers. It isn't long before she silently points ahead and begins to sprint forward. The 3 hooded figures are straight ahead, leading Terry away. "We need to be stealthy here!" The Cypher Squad notices you right away. 2 of them turn back and sprint at you, while the last one leads Terry further into the forest. As he goes, you can clearly see Terry is wearing a large metal collar around his neck.
You're going no further. You'll scram if you know what's good for ya.
Who wants to help me with these 2?
Maple pushes you at Cordelia.
Here, and we'll catch the last one.
Come back here with our tiny prince!
"We're gonna break you into tiny crying pieces!" The other 3 bound through the foliage in the direction Terry was taken, and you face down the Cypher Squad grunts with Cordelia. Their Pokemon are considerably stronger, and you're glad you didn't leave Cordelia to deal with them alone. They lead with the Hoaxian Dunsparce evolutions, to Dunsparce and Venospar. These giant bugs work surprisingly well together and are a total pain to take down. After that, the grunts send out 2 new evolutions. First up, you remember that little fart monkey based on the skunk ape? Well, Stinkimp is gonna get quite a bit tougher. Still working with the skunk ape, a Bigfoot variant from Florida that, it smells really bad. We're pulling in another classic ape and monkey trope. The tried and true strategy of flinging poop. Yep, poop throwing Pokemon coming your way. Technically it is concentrated gas. This is Pokemon after all. It has specialized pads on its palm that are shaped like a little poop emoji that the gas comes from. But come on. We all know what's going on here. It's also such a good shot that we get to bring in the fighting type too. Very fun. Okay, let's go ahead and meet Flungunk, the bad gas Pokemon. New pads on this prankster's palms allow it to generate concentrated globs of noxious gas. Flungunk are able to throw their smelly projectiles with unmatched accuracy. This Pokemon is quite easy to find in the wild, as their unfortunate smell can be picked up from quite the distance. The ability is still Stench, so there's a 10% chance to cause the opponent to flinch when they're hit by damaging moves, and the hidden ability is Poison Touch. Yep, it is a pretty tricky monkey to deal with. And the other evolution, who remembers the sweet little fairy type Rappit? Well, what if I told you that it was secretly a regional pre-evolution this whole time? Yep, we actually have a Hoaxian Trubbish. Now, I love Trubbish so stinking much that I just had to squeeze it into the region. This is, of course, based off of trick-or-treating, but more specifically the Summerween trick-or-treating from Gravity Falls. I'm not gonna lie, there's not a ton going on here. It's just a bag of candy, gaining the dark type because of all of the spooky Summerween shenanigans. But I just love Trubbish, what can I say? Alright, let's go ahead and meet Hoaxian Trubbish, the trash bag Pokemon. This variant of the Unnovan poison type is instead filled with sweet treats. They have developed a mischievous nature in the Hoax region and love to play tricks on people. After frightening their targets, Hoaxian Trubbish always apologize by offering candy. The ability is Sweet Veil, so that prevents this Pokemon and its allies from falling asleep. I mean, it's got a little sugar rush going on. And the hidden ability is Sticky Hold. The Trubbish waves its floppy arms at you, obviously more excited to meet you than actually battle. The Grunt's last two Pokemon aren't too tough, and you do take them down.
No, not again! Come on, let's go. There's still more stuff we need to harvest for the boss.
One of the Cypher Squad Grunts tosses a smoke bomb at the ground, and the two flee into the woods. Sprinting through the woods to catch up with the others, you find that the forest is becoming much darker, spotted with bioluminescent mushrooms. You take a peek at the journal and see that you are headed for something called the Enchanted Forest. But we'll pick up from there in the next episode. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you are enjoying the series. Oh, pause, real fast. I almost forgot to thank Angel for being our champion level Patreon supporter. Angel is thebomb.com and also happens to be a super talented artist. I'm pretty sure Angel has commissions open right now, so be sure to find him on our Discord if you want some amazing art. Alright, continuing on. There is a new puzzle added to the Discord server, so check the video description for details on how to join the journal deciphering fun if you haven't done so already. Alright, I will catch you in the next one. Later, nerds.